In this video, we're going to show you how to install taillights on your Toyota RAV4 located on the rear of the vehicle. With the back cargo door open, go ahead and remove the trays here. I'm going to pop that one out and then move forward, grab this one here. Set this aside. That is going to expose the plastic tray that is held in place by 4 Phillips head screws. Go ahead, loosen and remove the 2 on the driver's side, and then the 2 on the passenger side. Now that we have our 4 screws out, you want to get your hand underneath here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift up and I'm going to bump this tray towards the front while I'm lifting up. Now if you want to, you can go ahead and fold down the back seats here. Just grab the lever on the upper back portion here, pull that, and then the seats will fold down. Lift that up, set it aside. Now on this panel here, there are series components we want to go ahead and remove. We're going to start with this little cover right here on the lower left. Literally just pops up and pull that out. On the lower left down inside here in this little pocket is going to be a 10mm bolt. We'll remove that. That's going to remove the anchor bracket here. Set that aside and go ahead and pop this cover off here. Push it on those tabs. Set that aside. We have a Phillips head screw right up top here. Now, ours is already loose. It's kind of falling out already, but go ahead and remove that one. And up here, there is another Phillips head screw. And in the center, there is another 10mm screw in here. There's a larger bolt. We'll get to that eventually. But what we're going to do is we're going to come up to the top here. We're going to use our trim tool. I need to pop this off here. So I'm going to switch over to a little pocket screwdriver. There are little plastic tabs here that secure this. We just need to reach up and release those. Here we go. There it is. So on the back side here, there's just a little tab here and one here, and one on the top here and there. So we're just releasing those. And on the bottom here, we're going to use our 14mm socket, loosen and remove this bolt. On this back area here, we want to go ahead and lift up on this panel. Get your fingers underneath, and we're going to pull it straight up. You're dislodging the guide pins here, as well as the plastic push pins across the top. Go ahead and set that aside. At this point, let's go ahead and lift up our seat. And we need to remove our driver's side rear sill panel right here. So you can use a trim tool. Underneath here, and we need to pop this up. We're just releasing the little tabs around here. Go ahead and set that aside for now. Once we have that sill plate removed, go ahead and fold that seat back down. With that back seat folded down, we now want to go ahead and start to pull the back trim panel here. We have that unhooked. Now coming into the back side here, we have our seat belt right here, and the bolt to get to it is down inside here. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip up our seat. We're going to grab the handle underneath the front side, slide the seat forward, and that should give us access to that bolt so we can go ahead and undo that seat belt. Flip this up. Grab the lever underneath and slide that forward. And if you want, you can fold that down again. If you follow the seatbelt down, should be a little cap right here. Use your pocket screwdriver and pop that off. 14 millimeter. And with that loose, you can go ahead and start to grab that panel and gently tug that out like that. You now grab the panel. Gently slide this out. We have an accessory outlet here on the back side. On the bottom, there's just a little spring tab. You're going to push in on that, separate that, and then we can remove that entire panel from the vehicle. So on the back side here, we have one 10 millimeter nut here. Down just a little more, we have one in here. And on the inside, we have our third one right here. With that nut loose, we'll go ahead and use our magnet and grab that. Get the top one here. And then we'll get our third nut right here. If you follow this harness up, there is a single connector here. On the top of this is a little spring clip. You're going to push down with your thumb, grab that connector and pull that off. Actually, our whole connector popped right off, but we want to separate that from the tail light. There we go. Now I'm going to use my trim tool, go between the tail light and the body and gently pry straight back. Pop that out. Now before you install your taillight, there's a couple things you want to pay attention to. Number one is this plastic tab right here. That is going to interlock with the upper corner right here. It's actually going to slip right over that and lock into place. The other one is this plastic retainer down here. This here is going to interlock with this plastic post right here. So this needs to pop into that. Now if you remove the original taillight and this popped off with it, simply remove it from the old taillight, pop it into the body, and then you can go ahead and install the new one. We're going to go ahead and just quickly wipe down our area here before we install the new taillight. Now that we have the taillight installed, we now go ahead and install the nuts on the back side. Our third nut here. I like to always start these by hand. And then we're just going to gently snug these down. Take our connector, line that up, push it on. You should feel and hear it clip into place. Now before we install all of our trim panels, you definitely want to go ahead and test that taillight and make sure the turn signals and the brake light and everything works. Then at that point there, we'll start our reassembly of all of our trim. Now we're going to install our trim panel. Install the harness for your accessory outlet. Now bring that panel down into position. And on the front edge of the panel, we have our seal. So you might have to run your finger behind that and pull this in. Install the seat belt anchor bolt. After we've secured this bolt, go ahead and pop that cap back on. Install this bolt. Install the 10 mil bolt right here. Install our 2 Phillips head screws. Snug those down. Going to install your trim bezel here for the handle. Simply press that into place. We have our cover here. I'll line that up. Snap that in. On the bottom portion here, if you have this little panel, go ahead and line that up. Snap that down. On the rear sill panel, there are 2 tabs that actually interlock into the bottom side of the trunk tray there. Go ahead and line that up. Push that down. We'll go ahead and bring our tray over. Line that up. There's going to be 3 plastic push pins that fit down into the floor itself. Just push those down. Then go ahead and install our Phillips head screws. Put our jack tools right in the back there. We can install our forward tray and then install our rearward tray. Now, in order to install your sill plate, there should be 2 plastic white buttons. There's one here, one here. Normally they pop out with the sill plate, but in our case, they separated from the sill plate. So just gonna use your trim tool. I wanna go ahead and pop these out. We wanna install them on the sill plate. So now that we have both of them removed, we're simply gonna grab our sill plate here, take these buttons, slide them in. Now you can flip this down. And in order for us to fit this into place, the seat has to come back up. With the seat up, that allows us some room to line up our trim panels here. So once you're all set with all those trim panels, adjust your seats, get those back to where they were, and you're all set.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.